Thanks so much for being part of our study today. I just told Rudy, I said that I love this passage. Why are we studying Deuteronomy? Because there are passages like this in this book that they just zing me. So here we go. Verse 7. It was not because you were more numerous than any other people that the Lord set his heart on you and chose you, for you were the fewest of all people. It was because the Lord loved you and kept the oath that he swore to your ancestors, that the Lord your God has brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you from the house of slavery, from the hand of Pharaoh the king. Know therefore that the Lord your God is God, the faithful God, who maintains covenant loyalty with those who love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repays in their own persons those who reject him. Does not delay, but repays in their own person those who reject him. Therefore, observe diligently the commandment, the statutes, the ordinances that I am commanding you today. Let's talk about the humble place, Rudy, of Jewish people. You are not more numerous. You were slaves for 400 years, but the Lord set his affection on you.
You know, the Joseph story is pretty impressive.
And why don't you tell the Joseph story in a couple of words? I know, sorry.
The Joseph story in a couple of words is that he is the firstborn son of the favorite wife of Jacob. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he's kind of far down on the birth order, but yet being firstborn of Rebecca, means something to the Lord. He used Joseph to create the largest superpower the world had ever seen up until that point, because of his life experience, being sold into slavery, being put into jail, showing his worth as a prophetic person from jail, being brought out, up to the point of becoming the viceroy of Egypt, along with, you know, Pharaoh telling him that everything is under your hand except me. And he was paraded in the streets, and basically people bowed down to him. Really, all of this is an image of Jesus for me. But the dream of the 7 fat cows and the 7 skinny cows, and the 7 skinny cows eating the 7 fat cows, allowed for this 7-year period that allowed that everything was sold to the royal family. They sold themselves, they sold their land, they sold their, they used all of their money up, they sold their animals. And at the end of this, the Egyptian royal family got 20% of everything they ever made for 400 years.
Wow.
With no social network to have to fund.
Right.
And this actually is what God allowed Egypt to be raised up in this way, so that it would be unquestionably seen by the world that he was stronger than any power on earth. Is that?
Yeah, and that's good. And then God took his people who had been in slavery for 400 years. That's longer than we've been a nation. He pulled them out with his mighty hand.
Right, and you know, it's even written, well, and it's in Deuteronomy, that it's also in Exodus as well, that they came, Jacob and the rest of the family came at Joseph's invitation to come live in the land that he would give them, a great land to live in, Goshen, which is a delta place in Upper Egypt. But there was only 70. 400 years later, there were 600,000 men over the age of 20, not counting women.
Right.
Talk about multiplication miracles.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I love this because the Lord loved you. And I apply it to myself. Rudy and I have the best of both worlds. He's Jewish, I'm a Gentile. Let me tell you, and I know this because I lived it, I was a loser until I met the Lord. I can't tell you how my life was not good until I met the Lord.
For me, understanding the depth of the God that I began to believe, that I believed in, and his name actually is Jesus,
Right.
changed me, because I never had any joy in my life before. I had happiness, but happiness is fleeting.
Right.
Joy is so much deeper,
Right.
and I'm very thankful that I have that.
Absolutely. When I read this, I look back to when the Lord met me as an 18-year-old, and I thought, here's a nobody who the King of Glory came and loved. And I didn't know beans about anything, but over the years, I've obviously acquired more mental images of God, but that touch was so real. He set me apart for himself. And so this verse 9 is just so profound. Know that the Lord, your God, is God, none other. He's faithful. He keeps his covenant loyalty. That would be, in the New Testament language, that'd be grace. He is gracious to you. And he lives this way for people who love him and keep his commandments. When Jesus speaks, Jesus frequently says, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. And if you love me and keep my commandments, my Father and I, we will love you. We'll show ourselves. We'll reveal ourselves to you. And my 50-plus years of following the Lord has been just that. He has loved me. He's walked with me. He's been my friend. He is my best friend. I have a lot of friends, but God is my very best friend. I can always turn to him. I can always talk to him. I can bring my problems. I can confess my sins. It is a relationship that's real.
Yeah, and everybody gets into situations that they actually don't know what to do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, why not try just asking the Lord what he would have you do?
Right.
That's really where this relationship really gets sparked over and over and over
Right.
again, when you begin to trust in his advice.
Right.
And, I don't really think that you can believe for the big miracles that he's coming back to get you without seeing the miracles that surround you every day.
Right.
And all of this has to do with remember.
You got it. Yeah. Let's just keep on. That's a word that we'll keep on coming back to. Thank you for being a part today, Rudy. Thank you for your insights. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow.